10 things you can use today for free. You can use them right now, some of them, to improve your life. 3 things to improve your life. Who's interested in that? Who wants to have a better, easier, more smoothly running, happier, more productive life? I do. Sign me up. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1324 of What's She Up To Now, documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. I guess this is probably my 4th year online. Prior to that, I spent 48 years. I have to move it up to 48. It's been another year. Running my own businesses, owning my own businesses. I had my first business when I was 13, and lots of subsequent businesses in at least 27 different industries since then, as well as over a quarter century in corporate America, working for some really fascinating, really fun companies from, Fortune 50. They might be Fortune 5. I don't think it's one of the 5 biggest companies, but it's in the top 10 or 20 for sure that I worked for. And as well as, some privately held organizations that were also big. Back when I worked for them 20 years ago, they were $100 million companies, and that was a big company back then. Big privately held companies. So privately held as well as publicly traded companies. Lots of different aspects. So why am I talking about 10 free things that we could do right now, that you could do and I could do today? Some of these I do. I'll tell you the ones I do if you're curious. But there's a lot of free things that we can do to move our life in the direction we want it to go, no matter what is going on around us, no matter what's happening around us. And when times are crazy and chaotic, like COVID and politics and environments and things that we feel are outside of our control, those are the times to really focus on what we can do, the solutions, the free things for sure, because then we don't have any excuse. We don't have any excuse when something's absolutely free to say, I can't afford that. And that's one of the biggest excuses we use as human beings, is to say we're not going to do something because we can't afford it. We don't have the money. We don't have the resources. Guess what? We don't have the time. Has been one of our biggest excuses. Time and money have been the biggest excuses for ages for people. And COVID-19 pretty much erased the time aspect for the vast majority of people, at least here in America, because all of a sudden people they didn't necessarily have money, but they sure had a lot of time on their hands. Time to do things that they never thought they would be able to do or have to do or would have an opportunity to do. Other people were just the opposite, but it was actually the minority of people that were in the opposite boat. The people that were home with their kids, homeschooling, working full-time, trying to run the household and everything. There's a lot of people in that boat, but much fewer than the people that actually had more time on their hands. So when we have time and not money, we're looking for free things that we can do. So what are some of the things that we can do, and why am I even talking about this today? Well, our idiom for Supersize Your Business today was thanks costs nothing. And whenever I start looking into an idiom, it leads me down a rabbit hole of something. Well, what does this mean for my business? What does it mean? Where did it come from? What does this mean for my business? And for business, it meant, and it reminded me that we've had to be really creative over the last year and a half. We've had to get smarter, work not necessarily harder, but definitely differently than we ever have before. And the vast majority of business owners that I have talked to and worked with over the last year and a half are facing different problems and different challenges than they were, in February of 2020. January and February, we all started out with this great hope that it was going to be this fantastic year of vision and understanding and growth and expansion for our businesses, and whap, everything shut down in March. And so from March on, the world has been upside down, topsy-turvy, and our businesses have gone one of a couple ways. Either we've been shut down and businesses just halted and over, and it's given us a huge opportunity to decide, is this the business I really want to be in? And so some businesses have used COVID as their reason for switching gears or changing entirely, or people going out of business, not necessarily voluntarily, but choosing to do that because they didn't want to fight for their business. There's always ways we can fight for our business, fight for our life, fight for the life we want, the things that we want in our life. And I don't mean fight, I mean go for, work toward, be all in on, figure it out. So what are some of these ways that we can freely improve our life? Well, we can, number one, remind ourselves that feelings and emotions and ways that we act on those in a positive way, of course, can not only change our life, but change other people's lives too. And that's where the thanks costs nothing comes from. thanks, civility, courtesy, kindness, gratitude, good manners, showing approval, acknowledgement, complimenting, encouragement, being polite. None of those things cost us anything. Like my dad used to say, hugs aren't any good if you keep them. Hugs are to share with other people, as are all these other things. Being thankful, being grateful, those are great that we're grateful for the things in our life, but if we're grateful and thankful to the people that are in our lives and helping us make it through every day, much less these challenging times, that helps us, but it also acknowledges them and lets them know that they matter, that they make a difference. And a lot of people are just looking for acknowledgement, recognition, attention, seeing them, that they are human beings, that they are doing the best they can, that they are making progress toward what it is that they want. So what are some ways that we can, for free, change our life, change our businesses if you're in business, or our lives, or just to make our lives better? Well, we can make a promise to ourselves. We can make a commitment. We can set a goal. It doesn't cost anything to set a goal. Has anybody ever charged you? Now, don't tell me about the guru that teaches goal setting. That's different. Has anybody ever said it's going to cost you $1,000 to set a goal? I don't think so. It's setting a goal, deciding, making a decision. Those are all free. We just have to choose to do them. Our choices are free, right? At least here in America, still today, 2021, we have free will and free choice. So making a promise to yourself doesn't cost you anything, but can make all the difference. If you make a promise to yourself that no matter what happens, you are going to go for your goals and take care of yourself, and you commit to that and you do it, it doesn't cost you anything to make that decision, make that promise, make that choice, make that commitment to yourself. Reorganize your environment. I don't know if you noticed, but I've definitely noticed that during the shutdowns and the pandemic and COVID, people's homes, inside and out, have never looked better. Why? People were spending a lot more time in them. They had the time and the energy, maybe not the money. They had the time and the energy to put in the work and effort to reorganize, change, upgrade, improve, clean up. Maybe just clean up and reorganize. Change our background. Your environment. It doesn't cost you anything to move some stuff around, move some pictures around, dust some things off, clean some things up, clean out the garage. It doesn't cost you anything but your time and energy to do that, but the impact on your life can be absolutely amazing. Every time I organize a drawer or clean something out, I always feel so much better and so much more accomplished, because it's just a little thing. It doesn't cost me anything but a few minutes, but it takes a little bit of stress out of my life, because I don't have to worry about how to find or where to find things. Number 3, make a budget and a savings a habit. Any kind of habits that we set, which we'll talk about, routines, morning routines or daily routines, a couple of items down, because they're free too. But we want to create habits that serve us and stop habits that don't serve us. So, doesn't cost anything to form a habit, right? Well, unless you're drinking or doing drugs or something, then I suppose it costs something to form a habit, but it really doesn't, because sometimes people will give it to you free just to get you hooked so that you do have a habit, and then you continue to pay for it. But I'm talking about positive habits, positive things that are good for our lives. So budgeting and saving, a lot of people found themselves at the beginning of the pandemic, they hadn't been budgeting, they hadn't been saving, and they were very much feeling SOL. So it's time to change and do things that will make our life better, and that means that maybe making a budget and savings are habits that you need to start doing. It's something to at least think about, because it's free. You can find free checking and free savings accounts in financial institutions all over the place. Now, you're not going to get a ton of interest, but that's a topic for another day, right? Number 4, another thing you can do for free is do a 10-minute morning workout, or sometime during the day, find 10 minutes and do a workout. It can be morning, it can be at your lunch, it can be noon, it can be while the kids are napping, it can be when you take a break from work, you just walk around for 10 minutes instead of just going and having a cigarette, or staying and gossiping in the break room or over Zoom, or however you're doing it these days. Number 5, establish a daily routine. Find things that work for you and make you feel better, and make them a habit, make them a daily routine. A long time ago, it's been like 11 years now, I needed to make daily exercise a habit. I had to consciously exercise every day, and I needed to make it a habit because I had a health challenge and I needed to absolutely massively change my lifestyle. It didn't cost me anything to make exercise a daily part of my life. Did I have to find the time to exercise? Did I have to find the energy to exercise? Yes, but it didn't actually cost me anything. I didn't go join an expensive health club to try to think I would go and show off and do whatever. I needed to exercise every day, find ways that would work for me, and especially during COVID, I definitely didn't give up on that. I needed to get outside and get outdoors every day to keep me moving, keep me going. And it's free, right? It's free to have a daily routine, a daily exercise routine. Nobody charges you for your morning routine. You create it and you do it and you make it your own, and it's free. It's free to do. You're free to do it. You're also free not to do it. But I challenge you to do it for, say, 30 days. Do it even for a week and see how much better you feel. Number 6, practice journaling. Write things down. If your life is worth living, your life is worth recording. I can't remember who said that, but I heard it decades ago, and it stuck with me, and I started keeping track of things. Do I keep track of everything? No. Do I write down things that are notes and important to me? Yes. Do I have tubs of journals? Yes. Do I go back and read them? No. Will I ever? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what I choose to do next. But writing information down just reinforces it and is another way of learning. Which leads us actually to the next item, which is secure yourself a better future. How are you going to make sure you have a better future? A lot of people were caught by surprise by COVID, and because they were just going through their life, going through the motions, doing the daily things that they had to do to survive, and they weren't looking for ways to improve their life. They weren't reading, they weren't listening to podcasts, they weren't looking for advancement or things to help them be better in their career or their life, even be a better parent, be a better spouse, to have better relationships. All of that, any way that we learn or grow personally is a way to secure a better future for us. Actually, investing in ourselves, meaning time and energy, not necessarily money, but investing in our education, our learning, reading, growing, going to free webinars, listening to free things. There are so many free resources right now. You could actually be inundated with so much free stuff that you just get overwhelmed. Don't do that. Keep it simple. It's free to keep things simple. It's free to complicate things. It's free to get educated in, I think even all of the most prestigious universities in at least America right now are offering free online courses. So there's no excuse for saying, well, I don't know what to learn, I don't know what I want to do. Just ask yourself the question and make a decision, make a promise to yourself that you're going to learn something new, and just read a book on it, do some research on it online. Anybody, even if you don't have a phone or access to the internet, you can walk down to the public library, you can go in and you can use one of their computers for free to research something or to find something more. You can get a library card for free and check out books at the library. So there's no excuse to say that I can't read. You can, if you have a Kindle or a phone, you can have a Kindle account and you can download literally, I think, tens of thousands. I haven't been there lately to look, but tens of thousands of titles and books for free. There's also Gutenberg, which is a free public domain library where you can go. So there's no reason to say, I can't find any information, I can't learn anything because it's too expensive. It's not. It's absolutely free. It's just choosing to do it. Number 9, get a good night's sleep. Make sure that you are sleeping. And this goes along with, the exercise, the morning routine. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. It doesn't cost any more to get a good night's sleep than a bad night's sleep. So find ways to get a good night's sleep. There again, there's ways to enhance and get a better night's sleep for free. Go online, listen to, there's nightly, all night long, 12-hour meditations, hypnosis sessions, things for free. And there are like thousands and thousands of them for free. You can also buy them, but they're for free as well. So start with the free version. If you find something that works for you, you'll find the resources to invest in the paid version. Number 10, stay away from contagious negativity. And this is probably my favorite one. We need to stay away from things that make us feel bad. This might be people, this might be places, this might be things. One thing I gave up in the 1980s, and I know that's kind of saying how old I am, was the news, watching the news. Way back then, even in the 80s, when I was working actually for Procter & Gamble, I was challenged in a training to give up the nightly news, give up the morning news, and it wasn't so much morning news back then as there is now, but and definitely give up, there was no 24/7 CNN nonsense. So realize that the news is a negative information creating machine. It runs in cycles to create strong negative emotions in us. It's not there to create positive emotions in us. It's there to train us and get our attention and keep us watching and going back for more. Now, the best, fastest, easiest way that you can do that as a business is through pain and negativity and doubt and fear and worry. So the news, the media is just a giant manufacturer of pain, drama, doubt, worry, fear. And that to me is contagious negativity. Is it something that we share? Yeah. Do people share negative news stories? Yeah. Negative news stories are shared like 100 times more than the positive news stories. How sad is that? But it's true. Negative news travels way faster than positive news. And I'm not going to quote any statistics, but I guarantee that in my life I've seen that to be true. So those are just a couple handfuls of ways that you can, for free, impact your life, positively impact your life. I challenge you to do something today. Pick one thing from that list or a list of your own that you can do for free that is moving you in the direction that you want to go. If you're standing here and it's not the ultimate place that you want to be, and over here is the ultimate place you want to be, you have to find ways to fill that gap. A lot of people will find ways to fill that gap faster by paying experts to help them fill that gap faster to achieve a goal or objective. But you don't have to. You can figure it out. There's nothing on this planet that anyone with the desire can't figure out. We can figure out anything we so choose. Might just take us longer. Might just go a less direct route, but it's absolutely figurable. Especially if someone else has done it before, then I guarantee you can do it too. So that was all stemming from today's idiom, thanks costs nothing. Our annual challenge today was about stretching our calves, which seems very strange in an annual challenge to do one thing every day that centers us, but it just goes to show you that physical exercise, stretching reduces stress, stretching reduces tension, stretching prevents injuries, stretching helps us to untighten and relax and feel better. So there's a calf stretching exercise today, which I thought's funny. I haven't done it yet. I will do it, but I haven't done it yet. Can be added to my daily routine, although I don't think calf stretching is going to go in my daily exercise routine anyway. I will admit it, I am a very bad stretcher when it comes to doing things like that. The warm up and the stretching and the exercise and the cool down period. I'm all in about the do the exercise part, but the warm up and the cool down, sometimes I forget all about those parts. All right, 2 things I'm working on. Those 2 pieces of content. Get Up and Go Challenge will be October 1st through 31st, the next one. Right now I'm currently participating in a 5-day boot camp, it's probably a 7-day boot camp actually, but it's a 5-day boot camp about businesses and different levels in business and things. I like to keep my hand on the pulse and continually improve and secure myself a better tomorrow by learning things today. So I like to watch and see what people I admire are doing. And so somebody's doing a 5-day boot camp, which I'm participating in. It's, why I do other people's challenges. It's like, okay, well, what are you doing? This is what I do. And just to see if I can learn or get a little tweak or do something differently. And see if I want to maybe do the next Get Up and Go challenge totally differently than I've done the past 8. We'll see. Working on that. I've got a coaching call this morning. I've got a couple coaching calls this morning, actually. One coaching me, and then a few people that I'm coaching. So I need to hop off, say goodbye, say have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, if you have a question about offline businesses or online businesses, or what to do to get started, or what to do to take the next step for you because you feel frozen and paralyzed by anything, whether it's technology or strategy or sales or finding the right people to work with, team members, whatever. I might not have your exact answer, but I guarantee I can keep you moving in the direction you need to move in order to not feel frozen, not feel stuck, not feel paralyzed, because that's my most dreaded position to be in, and I want to make sure that I help other people so that they don't ever feel like they're stuck or in that spot. That's it. Have an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow, just documenting my journey, sharing what I'm doing, what's working, what's not working, what I'm learning about, what I'm trying now. And again, as different businesses that I'm working on, as the confidentiality of those and the privacy that certain individuals that I work with want to maintain, as those open up, I'll share more. If you have questions, you can always ask me, and I'll talk about them one-on-one, but I won't necessarily share them in my journaling video. All right, have an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.